Welcome to our session on automating non-PO invoices. We've decided to run it based on some feedback we received from recent masterclass with the PPN. It came up as to whether or not you could even automate a non-PO invoice. Today on this session, we have Mark and David from the listening team at Documation. Mark has been with Documation for over 25 years, working in projects, support, account management and sales. David joined Documation 17 years ago in support and has progressed through projects, solutions, account management and sales. In all these roles, they've helped customers automate processes in accounts payable and purchasing, not just with the selection, implementation and support of a solution, but with reviewing processes and advising on best practice, assisting with business plans for presentation to stakeholders, and reviewing automation with view to further automation. They've worked with industries across the board, from not-for-profit and local authorities to blue-chip corporates, using their combined 42 years' experience to help finance teams streamline and improve their processes. So with that in mind, what does automation look like for non-PO invoices?
I'll take that one, Julia. Hi, my name's Mark. First of all, you don't need a full P2P system for AP automation for non-PO invoices. AP automation for non-PO invoice can stand on its own and work on its own merit. If required, it can be an initial step into a wider AP automation for PO invoice processing or even full P2P once you've got that technology in place to expand upon. AP automation for non-PO invoice, an online platform, allows you to distribute electronic invoices captured in the system to users or teams for code and approval. It should be full of coding tools and validation tools using AI and machine learning to assist in the coding and the validation and also the approval of invoices in line with your business rules. It should integrate with finance systems for posting of the data you captured and the approval into the finance system, and there should be a whole raft of tools available to do that. It automates the document capture, typically PDF from email, for example. It could be EDI, it could be supplier portal uploads, or even paper-based documents to capture the documents themselves. And you could also add in the automatic data capture, which again uses AI and machine learning to automatically extract invoice data from invoices to then obviously pass around the business for code and approval.
Okay. Thanks. So what are the benefits of this automation?
I'll do that one. I'm David. Touching on what Mark just said, sort of it covers a lot of the points actually for benefits. The obvious one is removing manual data entry from the AP team. It takes quite a lot of time and there's obviously a lot of keying that has to happen. So by removing that, what we can do with AP automation is allow that time to be spent improving supplier relationships and the management of supplier payments. Another thing that a non-PO automation solution provides is it gives you the confidence to ensure that only valid invoices are being processed. And with that, also the coding that's happening is accurate and the approvals, it's going to the right people in the business with the right sign-off limits as well. So it gives you that control really. Another one would be the fact that we're distributing invoices, the non-PO invoices automatically, and they go out to the correct budget holder in the business. So by doing that, it removes the time it takes for AP to chase and send out invoices to people. So it really allows the team to focus on exceptions and queries. Another benefit would be the visibility a solution would give you. So essentially, we can have business intelligence reports that allow you to see where all your invoices are in all areas of the business and who they're with. That could be by team, or you can even look at the suppliers, who's got the most volume in the system by supplier or the value maybe. So lots of information in the reports that come with an AP automation solution, but also things like payment performance reports as well. So lots of really key information. And it's always good. I often hear people say, if a supplier is on the phone, you can go and search for your invoice, find where it is, see the history of it, how long it's been there, and maybe give some information to the supplier there and then if you can see why something's been held up. So yeah, lots of things: save time, give visibility, and control.
Okay, sounds like there's a lot of automation that can happen, but are there different levels that can be implemented?
Yeah, I'll follow on actually from that. It's all about what you're trying to achieve as a business. What are your needs? What are the pain points you're trying to remove? So, for example, if you just want to automate the capturing of the supplier invoice and reading the data using something like intelligent capture software, then you can automate just that part of the process. That's typically called a posting only solution. And that means that the data captured is passed to the finance system where you can carry on doing your coding and improving as you probably do now. So that's more of a sort of a light version of an AP automation solution. You can actually build on that and take a full solution where on top of that you add coding and authorization of the non-PO invoices, the automatic distribution, the query handling workflow you get with a solution, and things like mobile approver as well. So your budget holders can approve on a mobile app when they come through to them. And of course, you get all the reports I just mentioned as well. So I've worked with lots of companies where posting only is the starting point. They fix that problem and take away that data entry, save the time with data entry, and then later on sort of scale up to a full AP automation solution.
Okay.
So there's lots of options available.
One of the things I hear quite a lot is teams want to automate because they're rushed off their feet. They haven't got enough time to do everything. And their question is, how disruptive will it be to our normal work to implement a new automation solution?
Okay. Well, the solution is cloud-based. It's a standard solution out of the box configuration. And it is such so we keep any disruption to the AP team and importantly the IT team, and they are, they're interested in a smooth, efficient implementation of projects to a minimum. We have a proven methodology that's been developed over many years and many customers and many implementations. That's designed to keep impact on the AP team and business users to a minimum. So AP team can continue as their BAU while we're implementing it and run this as a project alongside that. And you can assign certain individuals from a team to be part of that project whilst others remain as the BAU. But we can talk to you about the best approach to achieve that in your particular circumstances. Users will need to be involved in obviously the design of customer specific configuration, which is specific to their needs. Obviously reviewing any specifications and sign off and receiving the training to then roll that system out. To keep interruption to a minimum as well and have a smooth project, there's an extensive range of integration tools, from CSV data being passed between Documation or the AP automation solution to the finance system, right the way through to web APIs. And a provider such as Documation can work with you to identify the most effective integration method to do both technically and financially to do that.
Okay. And the next question that naturally follows on from that is, companies often think that the way they do their processes is unique to them and nobody else will have done it their way. Will they need to change their processes to fit with an automation solution?
Absolutely not, and not always, but it is an excellent opportunity to review the current processes, look at those pain points, as David said, and what you're looking to achieve within AP automation, how you can automate that, and look at the solution along with best practice and the automation to achieve those. The Documation team have extensive knowledge, as you said, Julia, about lots of different companies, lots of different verticals and scenarios that our solution has been developed and worked upon to achieve those particular goals. So we bring a lot of knowledge and experience to the party to discuss the AP automation process with our customers, but also to find out what they're looking to achieve. So we make sure that the project achieves those objectives and meets those needs, whilst looking at best practice, which is the whole purpose of the AP automation is to apply best practice and to get efficiency, controls, visibility, and so on. So we make sure that we achieve those. And if that's done by using your BAU, applying that to AP automation, great. If not, we can look at where we can apply that automation to your process to make those changes to make them more efficient.
Integration is a big question. Does a customer need a particular finance system to work with an AP automation solution such as Documation, or in fact any other, or do they automatically integrate? How does that work?
I've got quite a bit of experience in this area, so no, not at all. It doesn't have to be a particular finance system. A good AP automation solution will work with any finance system, actually. Mark touched on different integration methods. Essentially, there's always a way to connect and communicate with the system, whatever it might be. So just to give a couple of examples around that, what you might do is have a single AP automation solution. And in our experience, people have had acquisitions or mergers. So another company's sort of come into the picture. What that's meant is that one AP automation solution that's already established with a finance system may need to start talking to another one as well, which is absolutely fine, and it's capable of doing so. And then you could just have, although one front end to everybody working in the solution, at the back end we can talk to two different systems independently and have complete segregation there. Another thing that we come across quite often is just somewhere along the line you have a solution in place and there's a decision to change your finance system. So as any good AP automation provider will tell you, you can actually work with that provider to change the finance system as part of a project, and it's very much a typical thing to do, and the support would always be there to do that migration. So absolutely not, we don't need a particular system in place. Certainly from our experience, we can work with any.
And based on that, slightly going off on a tangent from it, presumably you can then integrate with other systems within the company. So for instance, a separate purchasing system or a warehousing system or another system they have. Is there a way that you can integrate it all so that AP has a touch point in all of those feeding into the finance system?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that sort of goes more into the purchase order invoices, but that's absolutely possible. Yes, for non-PO, a good example actually is we work with a lot of rent and estates invoices with some of our clients, and they come from another system, and their process is non-PO and through the AP automation solution that we provide. But we do actually have some information coming from a third-party system to support that processing. So it's not just finance system integration, and we can work with any system that holds data essentially. The key thing is it going to help the processing of those invoices? If so, yeah, we can have a look into how best to integrate.
Okay. This sort of follows right on from it. What if they already have an element of AP automation, either in their finance system or elsewhere?
Yeah, understand. So if they've already got AP automation as in part or in full, even, it's looking at what elements of that process or that solution still need to be addressed. It may be that you have an AP automation solution and workflow within the finance system, but you're still having to capture the documents and capture the data manually. So you can look at addressing particular elements of the AP automation and look at it in a modular way. So if you've already got AP automation in the finance system, then, as Dave mentioned earlier, you may be looking at a posting only solution where it's capturing the documents and data and then pushing that data into the finance system, which then in turn triggers the AP automation process. So it's looking at the whole scope of the AP automation, from capturing the documents right the way through to getting that document approved and paid, and looking at the particular elements. Is it document capture, data capture, the approval, the distribution, the control, visibility, and see which part of your existing AP automation doesn't meet the needs of those particular areas, and then approaching the particular providers to say, okay, well, this is our challenge. How can we address that challenge? And I say, because of the modular nature of the software, we can be specific on how we deliver that to meet particular needs. So you can have AP automation in place, and you can implement certain modules to enhance that, or the AP automation in place might not be fit for purpose, so you might wish to replace that as a whole. So there's lots of different options that that providers can talk to their customers about on how best to deliver what they need to meet their requirements, be that getting straight through processing, so you're not having to touch invoices from, say, document capture right the way through to the approval and the payment. So yeah, lots of options available.
Okay, well, it sounds like it's a resounding yes, you can automate non-PO invoices from talking to you both.
Absolutely.
Is there anything, David, you'd like to add to that?
No, not really. Well, I suppose actually thinking about it, let's take a step back and just sort of have a look at what your current processes look like, and whether that be automated or not, and are they meeting the needs of the business and the team. So just sort of reassess where you are and have a think about, could you enhance that in any way and improve efficiencies based on what we've sort of discussed today. Certainly something worth thinking about.
Yeah. Mark, anything more from you?
I think the key thing really is obviously engage with providers such as Documation to discuss your requirements, needs, and the objective. I know I keep talking about needs and objectives, but they're critical when applying automation to make sure you select a provider that will work with you to make sure that solution meets those objectives. So we can identify those early on in the process, right at the start of the pre-sales process, and follow those right the way through to the delivery of the software. To keep an eye on making sure those are on our radar, and make sure we can measure those off as deliverables when you get the AP automation solution in place. So engagement is critical.
Okay, thanks.
Oh,
thanks,
sorry, Julia. I just thought something just popped in as well. Obviously, providers can help in the creation of a business case as well. So if you don't know, what you're looking to achieve, or what the business case is around this, engage with providers and discuss that, and providers such as Documation can help build in that business case. Okay.
Brilliant. Well, thank you both for taking the time to explain it all to me and to anyone else that's going to be listening to this. If anyone would like to get in contact with us, the email address to contact us on will be below, the listening team at documation.co.uk. And we'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this webinar.
Thank you all.
Thank you.